The U.S. Navy's GARC Kamikaze drone boat. Pause. It's GARC. GARC Kamikaze drone boat blew a hole in ex-USS Peleliu during sinking exercise, just days after the U.S. Navy's first combat use of a Kamikaze USV drone boat. Remote control, I made a previous video about it, check that out if you want to learn about that. Remake saw one take center stage during the sinking an amphibious assault ship. This is from the war zone. America just used a remote control Kamikaze drone boat against Iran, and it went successful. It went on course and it struck its target. And in World War II, the Japanese made kamikaze submarines that weren't boats, they were underwater, and only one of those worked. I'm gonna make a separate video about them. So this isn't like the first time ever in war that a water vessel was, it was the first time it was remote controlled and a drone boat, autonomous, right? Because in World War II, the Japanese had to go in it themselves. It was a human kamikaze, right? But just weeks after the US military, this is from the war zone, publicly acknowledged using kamikaze drone boats in combat for the very first time, the US Navy has confirmed that its Global Autonomous Reconnaissance Craft, or GARC, uncrewed surface vessel, USV, took part in its first live fire training exercise. The kamikaze drone boat was employed during Remake 2026, which is basically just the United States doing military exercises on water, naval testing, where they test experimental weapons, unreleased weaponry, and all of that. It's very cool. But attacking the ex-USS Peleliu, that's what they used as a target in the training of Remake in one of the operation's high-profile sinking exercises, and these are called SINKEX for short, SINKEX. So on July 24th, the Navy released a video, right, showing USVs taking part in the SINKEX in the Pacific Ocean, which targeted the decommissioned Tarawa class amphibious assault ship, but it was hard to tell what the USV in question was. The event itself had taken place on July 17th and saw the former USS Peleliu pummeled by multiple US and allied assets. The video shows significant damage already inflicted onto the assault ship, especially around the waterline, and water already being taken on board. Sinking. The footage was captured by the second drone boat as it inspect the damage done by the first fires. Yesterday, Sarah Weinstein, a surface warfare officer currently serving as the first commanding officer of Unmanned Surface Vessel Division 32, posted on LinkedIn, stating that she was honored that the USV DIV-32 was given the opportunity to execute the Navy's first GARC live fire during Remake 2026. Personally, I don't approve of women in the military. And Weinstein, is it one of them? It could not be. There are Germans that aren't the J's and have that last name, but I don't know. I don't really care to look into it right now. But a product of Baltimore-based Black Sea Technologies, the GARC is the major platform used by USV DIV-32, a unit that was established early this year. According to the US Navy, USV DIV-32 is tasked with maintaining and implementing unmanned vessels. The division's sailors regularly conduct exercises and training with multiple platforms, with the most common being the Global Autonomous Reconnaissance Craft, or GARC for short. It was incredible to watch my team execute with precision, and we were thrilled to provide a perspective of the former USS Peleliu that isn't often captured in a SINKEX, Weinstein added. A source familiar with the SINKEX operation told the War Zone's Howard Altman that there were two GARCs present at the SINKEX, but only one was used destructively in an end-to-end attack. The USV used a full autonomy package in the shape of Anduril's Lattice. It carried a 1,000-pound payload, although it remains unclear how much that weight was accounted for by the warhead, and The Warzone has reached out for further details about this. Other specifications of the GARC include a length of around 16 feet, a full load displacement of 4,800 pounds, just under 5K pounds, and a range of 700 nautical miles at a speed of 22 knots. Now, this ship named 32 took its GARC drone boats to exercise Baltic operations 2026 last month. On that occasion, the USVs operated alongside the Blue Ridge class command and control ship USS Mount Whitney. The Navy confirmed that the USV DIV-32 was providing realistic counter-USV training to NATO allies while in the Baltic. So, a defining feature of this is its inclusion of a new rate. Robotics Warfare Specialists, RWs, who are trained to operate and maintain vessels such as GARCs. In a Navy release last month, Chief Robotics Warfare Specialist Christian Butler explained, quote, "I think most commands, if not all commands, are going to have some component of RWs. Just because there's no going away from unmanned systems at this point, they're only going to grow in scale, and you're going to need RWs to carry that weight," unquote. Before USV DIV-32 stood up, the GARC took part in maneuvers in the Atlantic Ocean during the UNITAS multinational maritime exercise back in September of 2025. This was part of an effort that tested the ability of unmanned and remotely operated vehicles and vessels to extend the capability of interconnected manned platform sensors to enhance capacity across the multinational force, the Navy disclosed. Yemen's Houthi rebels were at the forefront of employing Kamikaze USVs operationally, so the Houthis and the Ukrainians are really keen. They're really wanting and creating this experimental future weapons of war. The Ukrainians are known for making anti-drone devices and drones, and same with the Houthis here. Now, so in January of 2017, after explosive-laden Houthi drone boat struck a Saudi frigate, the technology traces back to Iran, which developed a variety of rudimentary one-way attack USVs before transferring the capability to its Houthis proxies. If you didn't know, Iran funds the Houthi proxies, who became the first to use them in combat in the Red Sea. Now, repeated successful strikes against Black Sea Fleet vessels and naval infrastructure forced Russia to relocate much of its fleet from occupied Crimea to the relative safety of bases in mainland Russia, which is quite interesting. And check out the older other video that I posted about the Kamikaze drone boat, the first United States usage of that. You know me, guys. I'm America first, so I'm not in any favor of the Iran war, but I still assess the military achievements and weaponry technology, right? You can still appreciate the innovation of the weapons, even if you don't agree with the war. It has no strategic benefit to the United States. Before the war, the Strait of Hormuz was fully open, and then after the war, it's closed, and America has backtracked, and there is no way of a ground invasion in Iran. Good luck. Good luck. A giant country, massive military and lands and countries that is extremely mountainous, so they will have the high ground. They will be Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Iranians are Obi-Wan Kenobi because they're always going to be on the high ground, right? Which is a valuable thing. A ground invasion in mountainous terrain is impossible. It is a death sentence. You're going to mass suicide your troops in the hundreds of thousands. It'll be worse, uglier than D-Day, okay? So I'm sorry, I'm America first, and I don't want Americans to die in another Middle East pointless war. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm trying not to get too ranty and riled up, but type us a comment down below, smash the like button, hit the sub button, ring the bell, check out my older videos on the channel. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and hope you have a decent day. Take care.